What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today, when talked about Virgin Galactic, ticker is SPCE. I want to give you a good breakdown of some of the data points, what shorts are doing, and where I see things going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently, it is down 2.47%. The market just opened roughly around an hour ago. A good amount of volume, so 4.35 million shares being traded. 16.7 is the average. And of course, if you kind of zoom out, it is just for the most part following the broader trend that it's been on. And unfortunately, this is largely because of their Q2 earnings. So I'll touch on that in a second. But of course, news did come out about their second flight, which in reality was fairly good. They did have a lot of good milestones. So they had a Olympian mother-daughter duo, and this kind of puts in perspective on a lot of their other milestones that they did achieve. So overall, I do think that's a fairly good thing. They did also reiterate at the beginning of September that it's going to be their third commercial flight, so they're still keeping up the good momentum. But in reality, I think a lot of people are seeing bigger picture with Virgin, just the fact that they didn't really give good future guidance based on their Q2 earnings. So they did give, obviously, in case you guys don't know, $1 million for projected revenue in Q3 and $1 million for Q4. And the fact that they are burning a huge, immense amount of money. So as you can see, so cash from operations, they're burning $450.26 million. So of course, if they're only earning roughly $1 million in revenue, then just something doesn't add up. Like I've said in the past, I think Virgin is going to do a hell of a lot of good things, but clearly you have to be patient. And a lot of investors nowadays are just not patient whatsoever. So if they do see a downtrend happening, it just gets escalated kind of out of proportion. And shorts behind the scenes absolutely love that. So they've been taking advantage of all this grayness that's been happening over the last little bit. So I'll give you guys a quick overview of what they are doing behind the scenes. So short score is currently 74, utilization is 82.43%, and looking right here, shorts are increasing 679,000 shares first thing in the morning. And the way I interpret this data, the fact that they are increasing their position on a red day kind of goes to show that they do feel that there is more downside to be kind of squeezed out. But just keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys always do your own due diligence. 17.51% of the free float is being shorted, 58.5 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 4.28%, so that's kind of fairly good. It has gone up quite a lot. It was around the 1% range for a very long time, so it's good to see it finally starting to go up. And as far as options activity today, so currently there is $137,000 in calls being purchased versus 61.8 in puts. So based on this, people are anticipating for it to go up, and that clearly is just an overreaction. But the fact that most likely these outliers of calls, that's just shorts hedging their bets. But of course, they wouldn't be doing that if they didn't feel that Virgin did have a good likelihood of going up, because we already do know, based on the technicals and just the previous history, when it goes up, it goes up. It means business. It goes up very fast. If you're optimistic and looking at calls, it is anticipated to go between the 350 to 450 range by next week. But once again, this is just options activity. Options activity does not move the stock price. It is just merely a sentiment. As far as big money getting in, of course, the last transaction was on August 11th, so it's been fairly quiet for a while. And just generally, institutions don't really buy Virgin on the secondary market as much as they once did several months ago, during obviously when it was rallying quite heavily. And as far as dark pool transactions though, dark pool is always a very popular exchange because of course that is used by shorts. So once again, let me know you guys' thoughts. It is that time of season as well when institutions disclose their positions to the SEC, and it does look like right here Vanguard did increase their position within Q2. So they increased their position by 15.06%. So they have 23.3 million shares. So pretty significant. As well, you do see Wedbush that did increase their position by 10%. It's very minor though. They only have about 14,000 shares, but still Wedbush increasing their position, that might result in a very positive analyst rating potentially. And it's kind of funny. I do believe Wedbush did give a $2 rating on Virgin Galactic. So kind of contradictory stuff. This is why you do not trust institutions, but that's just my own interpretation based on that. And generally speaking, I think based on the latest round of 13Fs, it's kind of mixed. You do see some reducing their positions, such as Goldman and Co., as well as Bridgefont, but generally a lot of them have been increasing their position. So I think a lot of people will be looking forward to seeing what BlackRock does, most likely either early or tomorrow or the following day. But when it comes down to it, like I said, a lot of people want to know how low could this go, or where is going to be the next stopping point. So with it being at $3.18, looking at some of the fib levels, it is below everything. So even on the 4 hour, the 1 day, it's below absolutely everything. So it has been just completely hammered down beyond belief. So in reality, I think that's kind of a good thing, that it could have a good value rally fairly soon and readjust. Of course, with this S3 or being below this S3, this is now the next big resistance. So $3.35 is something that you need to watch for. But I do feel, given Virgin and how discounted it is, it does have a lot of good eyes on it. This is why you can tell based on the volume, it was fairly high already within the first 1 hour of the trading day, so 4.4 million shares. But I do feel that it can easily get past this 335. But as far as right now, I think in reality, in all fairness, it should be trading between this S2 and the S1. So it could easily go up to the 379, but it definitely does need to work on their financing, because like I indicated, that is something that is on a lot of people's minds. Even though they are doing a lot of good things operationally, very consistent now, they do need to figure out their finances, especially considering a lot of people now are also worried about Powell raising another 25 basis points on the next meeting on September the 20th. Even though that is a ways out, a lot of people are still forward thinking about that. And a lot of stocks that are heavily reliant on debt, such as Virgin Galactic, are just getting hit so much more. So once again, I do see a little bit more volatility, potential downside in the short term, but long term, if you are investing, for instance, for 2024, 2025, you're not necessarily going to care whether you bought in at $2, $3, $4. When it is in the double digits, then whatever. Like, people aren't necessarily going to care about the finite details of that. So once again, it's just my own interpretation on that. Let me know you guys' thoughts on Virgin in the comments below. Give yourself a shout out if you have been buying, selling, holding. What is your take on Virgin Galactic? And again, what do you guys think on this milestones, on all the stuff that they have done? I think it's a fairly good achievement to have a lot of these, but still not a really good reason to go out and buy Virgin, but still, whatever. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. But one final thing I just want to share with you, take advantage of amazing promos such as this. Just sign up, throw $100 at an account, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, so even that is a complete no-brainer. But better yet, you do get a $50 cash reward, so it's a win-win. Link in the description below and also the comments. And just so you are aware, this is a promo just for Americans only. If you do live in Canada, Moomoo is eventually coming to Canada, I think in October, but they are doing a soft launch. So if you do sign up, only needing your phone number, no other information whatsoever, you can win some pretty cool gift cards. So whether you are Canadian or American, you can take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. And with that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Virgin Galactic.